This is Into the Story, the podcast where you learn English with true stories from all over the world. Stories that connect us and inspire you to get where you want to go. It's your host, Bree, and welcome to a special bonus episode. Normally on Into the Story, I share one person's full story from start to finish. But as you can probably imagine, when I interview people, there's a lot of chatting that we do. And all of that less formal, just conversation doesn't make it into the regular Into the Story episodes. And one thing I've also started doing is asking them a few questions at the end of our interview. It's kind of like a speed quiz of questions that I'm curious about. And I call this a lightning round. I personally find it really fun because I get to learn lots of random stuff about these super interesting people. And I think you will probably find it kind of interesting too. So today I'm excited to share the lightning round from my conversation with Emma Walker, who was last week's storyteller, and that episode was called Becoming Assertive. By the way, this is your very last chance to join my public speaking in English boot camp. If you want to be more confident in presentations or interviews, then do not miss this. We are going to have 3 very small live group sessions where I'm going to guide you through very practical exercises. And then there will be a supportive community where you can ask all of your questions. It's all starting tomorrow, so you can sign up at intothestorypodcast.com/speak. And I really hope to see you there. Now, here is my lightning round conversation with Emma Walker. What is one, if you can only focus on one, okay, a helpful communication technique that you use in your own life, speaking a language that's not your first language? Either a communication technique or a mindset or a tool, just something, anything, the first thing that comes to mind.
A communication technique. One thing I found that's really helped me with Spanish and other languages I've learned is not getting too bogged down in trying to understand absolutely everything. I live in Spain and people here talk incredibly fast. So sometimes I don't understand everything they say. But if I can just pick out those key things and I can form some kind of meaning from those things, then I don't need to panic about not understanding everything. When I first started learning Spanish, it was very much like, what was that word? Oh, I missed half the sentence. Now it's a case of, oh, well, I understood these 3 words. Oh, they must be asking this because we're in this context. So, yeah, don't get too bogged down in trying to understand everything. Just focus on key words.
Yeah, that's a really good skill. Absolutely. A survival skill that you get by living in another place, but it's something absolutely people can do, you know, when they're living in their own country and practicing a language, to get used to that, understanding 60% and being okay with that. Mm-hmm. What are you listening to? Are you a podcast listener?
I am, yes.
Okay. What if I opened your podcast app? What would I see there?
Some guilty pleasures coming out. There are 4 podcasts that I love listening to. My number 1 podcast that I listen to is called The Psychology of Your 20s. So even though I'm in my 30s, I started listening to this in my 20s, and it's still very relevant now. I absolutely love this one. My second favorite one is Abroad in Japan, the Abroad in Japan podcast, which is about a guy who lives in Japan, and he has a whole YouTube channel and everything. And then the other 2 are just very silly podcasts, just to have on in the background and keep me company. But I really enjoy The Girls' Bathroom. So if you want like a nice feminine kind of vibe and you like listening to drama and gossip and that sort of stuff, then The Girls' Bathroom is great. If you're a guy and you feel more of having like a laddie kind of vibe, then I also listen to Jack Mate's Happy Hour. And I've been a fan of Jack Mate. His name's Jack, but his online name is Jack Mate. He used to have a YouTube channel and I watched it probably like 15 years ago, and he's still on the go. So I've been a long-term fan. If he's listening, I'm a fan.
I'm a fan. Fangirl. Okay. What is your morning routine?
So my new morning routine, because I have a goal this year to not spend an hour in bed scrolling on TikTok. I currently wake up and I get changed straight away. And then I take out Freya, who's my dog, for a walk. We just walk up to the end of the street and back again. Sometimes we play for a little bit as well. Then we come back. We have breakfast together. And then I watch a little bit of Netflix. Right now I'm obsessed with House. So I'm rewatching like old episodes of House. And that's my current routine. And then I'll start work.
Nice. What is the worst advice you've ever been given?
Just keep your mouth shut.
Did somebody say that to you?
Yeah. Like when it came to, for example, bullies in school, it was like, just keep your head down, keep your mouth shut, and keep going. And I found that gets me nowhere in life. Whenever I've kept my head down and kept my mouth shut and kept on tolerating whatever it is, I ended up unhappy. So it's much better to say something. If you're in a safe environment and you can say something, yeah. But yeah, that was probably the worst advice I was given. But for context, it was in the context of school with bullies. Like, oh, it's better not to say anything. They'll go away. No, they don't go away. Say something.
Yeah. All right, that is it for this extra lightning round from Emma's interview. Let me know what you thought. Did you like it? Was this interesting? Would you like to hear more of this? If you're listening on Spotify, I have created a poll where you can just easily give me your feedback. And also in the comment section, let me know if there are questions that you would like me to ask future storytellers. These are just the questions that I invented that I'm interested in, but let me know, what would you like to know? And you might hear your questions asked on future episodes. Remember, if you want to join my public speaking and English bootcamp, this is your last chance. Visit intothestorypodcast.com/speak. You have until tomorrow, Wednesday, February 5th at midnight. All right, that's it for this extra bonus episode. I will be back next week with our regular story episode. So until then, I hope that you have a good time, or at least a good story to tell.